Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to daily current affairs session. So we have a very good number of articles today, factual as well as understanding conceptual basis as well. So it may take some time, but yeah, these are all very important as well as relevant for our exam. First one, IMD colorable alerts. So this is the article related to the weather forecasting. So it can be part of geography. Then West Nile virus, again it was there in news. We have discussed this a few days back itself, a week or 10 days before. So this is part of science and technology as part of diseases. Next, deregistration of political parties. So this is a very important article as part of our polity subject, right? Then right to property. Again this is part of polity. So we will see about this as well, what Supreme Court has said, right? Then digital arrest. So this is part of science and technology again. So arrest we all know, right? We all know what is arrest, but what is a digital arrest? We will see that as well. Then World Hydrogen Summit. So this is part of environment conventions, right? Or agreements meetings. So this is also important, where it has happened and what is green hydrogen. We will see that as well. Then eco-sensitive zone, again environment. So lot of articles from environment every day you can see. So these are all the questions will be asked in the exam. Again Kanwar Lake, this is part of geography, as well as this is Ramsar site also, you can take it as part of environment as well. Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, a very important article from science and technology, right? Then Indian Ocean Rim Association. So this is a part of international relations. And finally, Mercury, which is part of again science and technology. We will see about Mercury as well. So factual pointers and some practice questions. So we have a good number of articles from polity, geography, international relations, environment, science and technology. So almost all the static subjects has been covered, right? So I hope my voice is fine, audio as well as video. Very good evening, Malini, Srinath and Oendila, and welcome to the session. So let's start this particular session with the first article, that is IMD colorable alerts. So recently the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, has issued an orange alert for the Kerala related to the rainfall. So there is a possibility of heavy rainfall, and there is a lot of rainfall across some southern states recently. So they have issued the colorable alerts, and these colorable alerts can be issued for any weather related things. It is not just about rainfall. It can be issued for cyclones, it can be issued for cold waves, it can be issued for heat waves, thunder waves, heavy rainfall. So it can be issued for any weather related events, right? It is not disaster related, but they are weather related alerts, right? So very important, the difference you need to remember. So they may ask you in the exam that these are related to the disaster management. No, these are related to the weather alerts, right? So there are classification. So basically there are 4 types of classification where IMD issues. First one, green alert. If there is a green alert, maybe after causing of heavy rainfall, they may issue the green alert. That means no severe weather is expected. So keep up the date with latest forecast, that's it. There is no warning. Just follow the weather, right? So it may issue after the heavy rainfall. So people may be a little bit scared and all. So if IMD issues the green alert, that means people will know that there is no imminent danger. So this is the green alert. And next one is yellow alert. It is to give an advance estimate or advance warning, like beware. The weather is not good. So yes, there is a possibility. There is a possibility of certain issues in the weather. So this is a pre-warning, we can say. Then orange alert, be prepared. So that means warning is over. Now you have to prepare, be ready with all the things, whatever required in place to mitigate this weather related event. So it aims to say, keep vigilant, keep update, and then be prepared, be ready for facing this particular weather event. And then red alert. So this means already the disaster is about to occur. The weather is about to occur, and remain extra vigilant. So after preparing all the things, you need to take more such measures, that because it is nearing, right? So these are the 4 types of colorable alerts issued by IMD, right? This was asked in 2022 UPSC mains. They have asked about listing it out, the colorable alerts, right? So this is not asked at prelims. In other exams, maybe few they have issued. SSC, there was one question. But in the sense, there is a possibility that in the coming exams, you may face one such question, right? So this is about the colorable alerts of IMD. I don't think so there is any doubt. You just need to remember the classification and the factual related things, right? Next one, West Nile virus. West Nile virus. So we have already discussed this 10 days back, but anyway, there was again a big article in the Hindu related to this particular disease. So Kerala is facing certain issue, lot of cases with related to the West Nile virus, and the border states like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka are also being prepared for this, right? Because this may occur. So what is this West Nile virus? This was first discovered, this virus, this is a type of virus like how COVID virus was there. So this virus was first discovered in West Nile district of Uganda, way back 50 years before, right? So this is a type of virus where it has a single stranded RNA. Certain viruses has double stranded, like how we have a DNA, right? How humans has double helical structure, but this is a single stranded virus. So this has a RNA, right? RNA is a single stranded and DNA is a double helical structure, right? So this virus is having a single stranded RNA and it belongs to flavivirus family. So there are number of virus, arbovirus, flavivirus, certain families are there based on the shape and the effect of those viruses. So it belongs to flavivirus. Also this same virus, the same virus of flavivirus also causes other diseases such as Japanese encephalitis. It is also caused by mosquitoes only, and then yellow fever. So these are all a type of which may occur due to the flavivirus apart from West Nile virus. So they may ask you in the statement, the same virus which causes West Nile virus also cause dengue and chikungunya. No, it is caused by also causing Japanese encephalitis and yellow fever. So that type of differences you need to understand, right? And this was commonly found in all the continents, specifically in Africa and Asian continents, right? So this disease peak during the pre-monsoon season. Usually it should be in the monsoon because where the temperature is high, rainfall, stagnated water, so all these are the conditions. But yes, pre-monsoon where the temperatures are high, mosquitoes love to stay in the higher temperature. So these are all conditions where West Nile virus boom a lot, right? Now how is this transmitted? How is this transmitted? Let's understand. So this virus is usually found in birds. For example, let this be a bird, right? So imagine this is a bird, okay? So this is a bird and there is a mosquito, okay? So I'm not able to draw properly. Anyway, you just assume that this is a bird, this is a mosquito, all right? And this is a human. Of course, this is at least better, right? So these are humans. Now, the virus are usually found in the birds. Usually found in the birds, like bats, whatever the birds. Now, what this mosquito will do, the mosquito will go and bite the blood of birds, and the virus present in the birds will transfer to this mosquito. Now, what this mosquito will do, it will go and bite the humans, and this virus again transferred to the humans. So this is transferred, this is a vector, the transferred by the mosquitoes, but the virus is usually found in the birds, right? So the origin, the reservoirs are birds. Reservoir means who carries the virus, and transfers or vector means which can transfer. So mosquito is the transfer. It can cause in humans as well as animals, but human to human transmission is not found. Yes, there is a possibility if there is a blood transfusion. If the infected blood is transfused to other person, there is a possibility. But direct contact, like how COVID has spread, there is no such possibility of transferring with the direct contact, right? Unless until there is a blood transfusion. So this is what the process that occurs or spread this disease, right? So this is the process. Now there are also other features of the West Nile disease, the facts that you need to know. It usually causes neurological disease. So which part of human body is affected by West Nile virus? So that may be also asked in the exam. So this is caused with the neurological, that is brain related disease may cause. So this was first discovered from Uganda, as I said, in the West Nile district way back in 1937, right? And this is caused by Culex mosquito. So this is also important. I think here it's forgot to write Culex mosquito. So this is family of flavivirus, but specific, there are number of other Aedes aegypti. There are again mosquitoes, different classification are there. In that, Culex mosquito is the one which is spreading this disease. So this is also important. And 80% of the infected people are asymptomatic. That means they don't show the symptoms. It is like a normal people only. But rest of the 20%, 20% of the persons may show the symptoms which is similar to the dengue, all these things like fever, vomitings, diarrhea, all those things can be seen. And as of now, we don't have any treatment or vaccine for this particular disease. For West Nile virus, we don't have any vaccine or any medication for this particular thing. Just that we need to have a cleanliness. It is a prevention is much better in this particular case, right? So that is about the West Nile virus. Any doubts in this? View is also like this way to affect. What is view? Can you elaborate it? What is the full form, Malini? Just let me know what is view. I'm not able to recollect the shortcut. So that is about the West Nile virus. I hope this is clear. So we have discovered, we have discussed the context and then the virus has what, like the features, how it transfer, the process, and then symptoms we have discovered, and the facts related to it is also very, very important, right? So I hope this is clear. Sir, please advise on how many times to revise the same topics and within how much duration it should be revised again and again. Okay, fine. So as some student have asked about the current affairs revision, see, current affairs should be done in 3 revisions. I am discussing here, it will take hardly 1-2 minutes. So current affairs should be done in at least 3 readings, right? In the first reading, you will understand concepts and issues. Concepts and issues. You, whatever the articles, you no need to mug up all the facts. Of course, you can read the facts, but no need to mug up everything. Understand the concept. For example, now you are dealing with West Nile virus. So how can it transfer from bird to insect, insect to human, blood transfusion? So understand the concept or the issue. What is actually the issue? Sometimes issues will be there, like we will discuss the deregistration of parties. This is an issue. So understand them and just read the facts. In the second reading, you already understood the concept. Now your focus should be on facts, trying to mug up as much as possible. You understood the concepts or issues. So now you will just do the factual things more. And in third reading, now in the 2 readings, you will not make any notes, right? You will not make any notes. You will just read the concept and then try to, do facts as much as possible. And in the third reading, you will take, for each month you can take some notes like 5 to 10 pages, very short notes, not even 10 pages, it should be less than 5 pages. Now as you already read it twice, your brain will tell that certain facts that you read are difficult to remember. Even after reading twice, your brain will not be able to recollect certain facts, not all the facts, right? So those things you make a short notes. So for every month, if you could able to collect those facts, 5 pages, which are difficult for you to remember, those you can compile for last 6-7 months or whatever the exams you write and try to revise 10 days before the exam. So this is the process to prepare for current affairs, right? So notes making should be done at the third reading. Western encephalitis virus. Yes. This also occurs in the same way, view also occurs in the same way as that West Nile virus. But yeah, the mosquito is also Culex mosquito, yes. So Culex mosquito, the process is also same, blood transfusion and all. There is no difference except that the carrier, I think there is specific bird, it is not all the birds, so you can just check it on in the internet. I hope that is clear. Shall we move to the next article? Fine. So we'll move to the third article, that is deregistration of parties. Deregistration of parties. You all know we have number of political parties, isn't it? We have number of political parties. Starting from Congress, BJP, CPI, CPM, we have a number of parties. Then there was an article in the Hindu that do election commission has the power to deregister a party. Yes, election commission has the power to register a party, but do they have the power to deregister? So this is what the article has discussed, right? Now, what are registered parties? We have a number of political parties. All the parties, if registered, will get certain benefits. So they have to submit their constitution. I mean, constitution doesn't, not Indian constitution, on which ideology they are working, on which rules they are working. They need to write it down, their parties, agendas and all, and then they need to submit to the election commission that yes, we want to enter into the politics and we are registering the party name. All these things they will give, right? So they will give and get registered, and this is being enabled under Representation of People Act. So election commission has the power under Representation of People Act to give assent or registration for any political parties, right? So the clearly RPA Act give the powers to the election commission to register a party, right? And there are around 2,790 active registered political parties in India, right? So this is the approximate number. Now, why they need a registration? Say for example, I have registered a party and other person did not register a party. So what benefits I will get? They can contest in the elections even without the registration also, right? There is no bar. This is also an important fact. Unregistered political parties cannot participate in the elections. They may give the statement. So that is wrong. They can also participate in the elections, and the registered parties also can participate in the election. But yes, there are certain benefits to this particular registered party. And what are the benefits? That donations are tax exempted. Usually, if any country of any person donates to certain company, they need to pay tax, right? But if the donations are related to the particular party, so this party has received the donations from certain people, so those are exempted from any income tax, so which is a good thing. And this party not exempted. The donation has to pay the certain amount of taxes, right? And this party, registered party, will have a common symbol for the election. So from wherever the seats that they are contesting, they will have a common symbol. Say for example, the pen symbol. So the pen symbol is given common to the seats where this party candidates are participating. So this is second advantage. And the third advantage is 20 star campaigners. Star campaigners means those people who consider the party as the most important one. Because of them, they can get more voting. So those 20 star campaigners are allowed, and these expenditure on these star campaigners are not put on the burden of the party. So this is independent. So these are all the benefits that a party get if it is registered, and if it is not registered, no benefits they will get, right? Now, what is recognized parties? We have seen registered parties. See, registered is different. Registered is different, and recognized is also different, right? Not all the registered parties. Say for example, if you take the Venn diagram, so this is the registered parties. Registered parties, so bigger circle, and the small circle is recognized parties. That means all recognized parties are registered parties, but not all registered parties are recognized parties. So recognition is given to the parties based on nationality, as well as, the national party or state party, based on their performance in the elections. So even if they don't get any seats for the registered parties, it will remain registered. But there are certain conditions where this parties has to win the election. We will see those conditions also. This parties has to get certain number of seats. Then only they will be marked as a recognized political parties. So these are the recognized parties which are recognized by Election Commission based on the performance in their past elections, right? So this is the definition. So these are two types again, state party and the national party, right? And the criteria is based on the winning elections. So we will come to that particular thing. Before knowing what is the conditions to be a national party or state party, let's know what difference or what extra benefits they will get if it is a recognized party. Registered party benefits we have seen, but what extra they will get as a recognized party. So that also we will see. So the recognized parties get certain benefits, that is, they can have 40 star campaigners. So 40 star campaigners can be given, and the symbol that they are contesting, it will be reserved for them in that particular state. For example, a party A is contesting in Telangana. That if it is a recognized party, this symbol is registered. No other party can claim even in the coming elections. But if it is a registered but not recognized party, the same symbol may not be available in the next elections. One common symbol will be given, but not sure of the next election. So, but this recognized parties, they will have same symbol. So this will not be given to anyone, right? So these are the benefits. Now, which are considered as a national party or state parties? So anyone? Let's see, this is important also, many times asked in the exam, but yes, a little bit confusing. We will do one thing, I will just make a short note, okay, here, to make you understand in a much better way. National party, okay, national party, state party. So when will this recognition they will get? How the recognition is given as state party or national party? Let's sum it up from a very basic thing. So the first condition is, at least the party, say for example, there are two parties, okay, party A and party B. Now we are discussing about the party A. Visualize this one itself as a party. You can take as Aam Aadmi Party, AAP you can take, right? I'm not taking Congress or BJP because some people may feel that I am affiliated to party. So let's take Aam Aadmi Party, which is also national party now. Let's see what are the conditions, right? So it should secure at least 6% of total polled votes. 100 crore for example. 6% means 6 crore votes they need to get at least. Along with that, this 6% votes, the 6 crore votes should be distributed in 4 or more states. So this 6 crore votes that AAP has got should not be only from 1 or 2 states. It should be more than 4 or more states. Alright. So you can take the first condition as 6% of votes polled, spreading 4 or more states, right? So they need to get 6 crore votes. 6% means, I'm just taking as an example, 6% of votes in more than 4 states. But that is not the only condition. In addition to that, they need to have at least 4 seats in Lok Sabha. So plus 4 Lok Sabha seats, right? So if any party gets this one, they will be declared as a national party, right? 6% votes more, spreading over 4 more states, and they are also need to get 4 Lok Sabha seats, right? So this 4 Lok Sabha seats can be from single state also, from single state or double 2 states. So there is no condition, but vote share should be spread 4 states and 4 Lok Sabha seats at least they need to get. That is the first condition. If not that condition, there is one more condition given. At least 2% of total Lok Sabha seats. We have 543 seats. So 2 by 100 into 543, 5.5 into 2, approximately 11 seats you can take. So 2% of Lok Sabha seats, not voting the number of votes, but 2% of Lok Sabha seats. Very important. So many students are confused or they are forgetting. I am making it as a summarize, so you will remember, right? And have candidates from not less than 3 states. So this 11 seats, approximately it is 11 seats, right? So 543 seats we have. So 2% of Lok Sabha seats spreading over not more than 3 states. So this 11 seats should not focus on single state or 2 states. It should be 3 or more states. 3 or more states. So this 11 seats should be distributed at least from more than 3 seats or 3 states. So that is also important. And the last condition, it can be also one more condition. It can be a state recognized party in at least 4 states. So state party state party in at least 4 states. At least 4 states if it is. That means what? We will see the state conditions also. I mean the state, how the state party can be recognized. We will see these conditions also. But after satisfying this, at least it should be in 4 states. So any of these 3 conditions, if it is satisfied, it can be called as, it can be recognized as a national party. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? We will see now the state party also, but yeah, at least these 3 you should be clear, right? Please do respond so that I can move ahead. Fine, is it clear? Any doubts in these percentages and the seats, or don't confuse, there will be a question because we are having Lok Sabha elections, right, this year. So there will be lot of questions on elections itself. Whatever exam you write, you will see lot of questions from the elections, right? Now let's see about the state parties to get a state party. Great, thank you. So let's see about the state parties. Let's take an example of AIDMK from Tamil Nadu. AIDMK, which is a state party, but it is not a national party, right? So first condition is the party should get at least 6% votes, same condition as this, 6% of votes of the total in that particular state. 6% of votes plus at least 2 seats. It is not just about 6% votes, but they need to also get at least 2 seats, right? So in addition, at least they need to win the 2 seats. So that is one condition. Second condition, it gets 6% votes, find the same thing, 6% of votes plus 1 Lok Sabha seat. 1 Lok Sabha, this is assembly seats, 2 assembly seats or 1 Lok Sabha seat. So this is also they can recognize as a state party. Next, at least 3% of votes or 3 MLAs. So one more condition they have given, if not 6% votes, it's fine. 3% of votes plus 3 seats. Plus, or 3 seats. It is not plus or 3 seats. Right? So at least 3% of votes or 3 MLAs in assembly, whichever is more. So this is also one condition. Right? So any of these things also, if they get assembly, it has at least 3% of votes or 3 MLAs in assembly, whichever is more. Whichever is more they are saying. So just because they are getting 3% votes does not mean they will get into the state party. And they need to at least also get 3 seats. Right? Understand this point. Whichever is greater they are saying. Out of this 3, for example, there are 1 crore voters. They got 1 crore voters and 30 lakhs they got. 30 lakhs votes this party has got. But it has not won, it has won only 2 seats. Do you think that this will be recognized as a state party? No, because at least 3 seats, whichever is greater they are saying. Out of these 2, which one is greater? So at least if they get 3 seats, then only they will get. 3% votes, fine. So if they get 3% votes and 4 seats, then yes, they can be recognized as a state party. So this is also one important condition. One more thing, strengthen, the party has at least 1 Lok Sabha member for every 25 seats. For example, 1 Lok Sabha seat for every 25 Lok Sabha seats. So if any particular state has 50 Lok Sabha seats, that means at least they need to get 2 Lok Sabha seats. Then only they will be recognized as a state party. These are all not required. Any one of the given conditions, right? Then performance in the past poll. So at least 80% of total valid votes in the previous elections. So at least 8% of votes in the previous elections. I mean the total polled votes 8 need to get in previous elections. So even if they did not get any vote, any seat, 0 seat, but they got 8% vote share. So if any of these conditions they satisfy, then they can be recognized as a state party, anyone. Right? So any doubts in this? This is little bit complex but very important. As I said earlier, in other, like before elections fever and all, we used to not get this into the exam. Of course it was asked 2-3 years before and all, but now you will see lot of questions in it. You need to remember this distribution. Any doubts? Please do let me know if you have any doubts. Excluding nota, some good question has been asked. Excluding nota, nota seats are not counted, not counted. Nota seats are not counted in the this particular thing, and even nota is not even considered when they are taking into the winners also, right? So the deposit, all these things, nota is not included. That's why now the many people are asking to include nota votes also in the consideration of different aspects. So now we are not considering it. For example, nota got 10,000 votes in particular assembly, and the winner, the second person, has got 9,000. Still he will be declared as a winner. Nota, even though it is higher, it is not being considered, right? So this is one important fact, right? So this is about the state parties and national parties. Now, coming back to the context, the article also discussed about the derecognition and deregistration. So the deregistration, once it is registered, to remove the party from deregistration or derecognition, Election Commission has no power. The Representation of People Act, which enabled Election Commission to register a political party, they did not give power to Election Commission to deregister it. And even in one of the Supreme Court judgments, Indian National Congress versus the Institute of Social Welfare case, there is a case. You need to remember the Supreme Court cases also for the exam. Indian National Congress versus Institute of Social Welfare case 2002, Supreme Court clearly said that Election Commission has no power to deregister a party. So this is also one important provision, right? And yes, it may deregister, but when the government has declared it as a party which is against acting as a national interest, or Supreme Court or High Court some observations has made about that particular party, that this is against the democracy or whatever. So only under the guidance of some other organizations, like institutions like Supreme Court, High Court or government, they can deregister, right? So this is the present status of the power of Election Commission to deregister, right? Now, what is the issue about? What does the article says? That because to exempt, we have just discussed that registered parties is exempted from the income tax payment. So some people are registering political parties and they are taking donations, but they are not contesting in the elections. They have registered it just because they want to exempt the income tax. So that is an illegal activity, right? So this is one big issue that India is facing, because Election Commission does not have power. Once the party is registered, it is very difficult to unregister it. So that's why parties, those certain people are misusing this provision, and they are transferring the illegal money from other donations and they are enjoying it, right? So this is one condition. Also, some political parties are very communal. Some political parties are perpetuating caste politics, communal politics, where it is pitting against each communities. So in such conditions also, Election Commission does not have any such power to deregister the party. In the worst case, they will ban for 2-3 days for election campaigning. So that is not at all a punishment. So as we are having lot of issues, the Election Commission of India as well as the Law Commission suggests that RPA, Representation of People Act, should be amended, and they should give power to the Election Commission to deregister a party. At least if the party is not contesting in the election for 10 consecutive years, we need to deregister it, right? The power has to be given to the Election Commission of India. So this is what the article talks about. A very big article, of course, very useful as well. Any doubts? Any doubts in this? If not, we will move to the next article, that is right to property. This was also taken from the Hindu. Supreme Court said the state here means India. It is a social term or political term, right? State means not state governments, rather it is a country, nation, right? So it is saying that the country cannot acquire property without any proper procedure. There is a procedure. You have removed the fundamental, we will see the background also. But state has to follow certain rules and regulation if they want to take away property of the citizens for the public development, right? So it said this one, we will come to again what it said, but before that let's understand the right to property, right? Yeah, great. So right to property was one of the fundamental rights under Article 19 and Article 31 when the Constitution came into the picture. So when the Constitution came into the picture on January 26, 1950, January 26, 1950, right to property was a fundamental right under Article 19(1)(f) sub-provision and also Article 31. So nobody can take away the property because it is a fundamental right, right? But what has happened, you all know that the India got the independence and most of the land area was under the hands of bourgeois. That means the people who are doing business, jamindars, Raitwar system, because of the Britishers of policies, most of the land, 95% of land are in just 2 to 3% hands, 2 to 3% of jamindars and all. So that's why to redistribute land or land reforms and all, the government has amended the Article 31 and added Article 31A that this right to property is restricted. Though it is a fundamental right, they did not take away the fundamental right. They left it. They have added one more provision called Article 31A, where right to property is restricted in certain conditions. If the government want to take land reforms, if government want to develop certain area, so they can take the property. So they have added an exemption to the fundamental right to property. But still, it was challenged and then Supreme Court intervened. There's a lot of delay in the implementation of the government from government side. So in 1978, during Janata government, after emergency, through 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, they have removed the right to property from the fundamental right. They have removed the provision itself from the fundamental rights. Now what they have done, they have made it as a constitutional right and legal right under Article 300A. So now right to property is no more a fundamental right. So the people cannot directly go to the Supreme Court. Only during the, only if it is violating your fundamental rights, you can directly go to Supreme Court. Else you need to go to District Court, you need to go to High Court. So there is a process for it. So this was removed and made as a constitutional right as well as a legal right, right? So that government can take measures. And what is the present constitutional status? As I said, it is a constitutional right as well as legal right, right, under Article 300A. But yes, of course, legal right. It is not that only fundamental right was removed, but it is my right. If I am earning, if I am doing hard work and I am earning property, so how can a government take it? So it will discourage people to earn more and the country's growth also will be hindered, right? So that's why it is their legal property and constitutional right, which is not absolute. If in worst case or in any case that government want to do for a larger welfare of the people, then only they can take out the property, right? So this is the present status, and right to property is a constitutional legal right for any individual as of now. It is not just about Indians. Whoever earns here, they have the right to protect their property, right? So what Supreme Court has said. So this we are coming back to the context. We are coming back to the context. What did the Supreme Court said? As I said in the context itself, there is a proper procedure. There is a proper rules, regulations which governments has to follow before you are taking before taking the property of public. That should be, the notice should be given duly for the people from whom you want to take the property. So the notice has to be given first, and then right of citizen to be heard. So you have to hear from the citizen from where you want to take the property. You hear from them. It may be sentimental, it may be whatever, like there may be religious activity, something like that. So hear from them what is the issue in giving the property. So after hearing, the citizen should be given reason why you are taking the land. So we are taking for this particular purpose, this is benefiting for everyone. So government need to clearly explain the person from where the property is being taken, right? And that they can take the property of the citizens or any persons only if it is a public purpose. It cannot be any private purpose, right? For any individuals they cannot take. They can only take property only if it is public purpose, that is the welfare of society, right? So right of citizen for fair compensation. So when you are taking it, the due market price and even more than that you need to pay for that particular individual. So this is also to be followed. And then efficiency in prescribed, the proper process has to be followed. Right of conclusion of the proceeding. So what is concluded in the discussions and all, everything need to be known. So this is not an easy process to capture the property of any private individual by the state, that is government, is not an easy process. You need to follow these all rules, then only you will be able to take away the property. So this is what the Supreme Court has said, right? Any doubts? Any doubts in this? So we have seen what is the right to property and what is the status, what is the background, what is the present status and what type of right it is, and then what Supreme Court has said. So that is all of right to property. Next one, digital arrest. So we all know what is mean by arrest. So it is a physically taken away by the police and kept in jail, right? So that is the normal physical arrest. Now the new term called digital arrests are being increased. So the context is there was a increased reports of digital arrests, and that's why central government in collaboration with the Microsoft has removed lot of accounts from the Skype. Skype is a platform which we have a video calls and all. So they have removed. Now you may understand this only once you understand what actually is a digital arrest, right? So what is this digital arrest? It is an arrest where certain individuals show that they are from the government. They are police officers, they are enforcement officials. They will send a message, they will call, they will mail that we are the officials, and they will say their details also, the personal details also collected, and your ID was used for the illegal purpose, maybe for drug trafficking and all. So they will say that your ID was used and you are being arrested. So digitally they will say, they will mentally traumatize, right, and ask them to enter through the video call. And they say they dress up in the police or enforcement officials, whatever. They also make the police station as a background. So digitally they will arrange all these things which seems that they are from police officials or the whatever the enforcement officials, and they say that your ID, any of the IDs or your accounts are being used illegally and you are being arrested. So they will call them to the Skype and they will enter in the video call, and they will give a condition that until unless we say you should not move away from the screen. If you move away from the screen, then you will be arrested. We will come to your place and you will, in front of your family, we will take away to the station. So because of this scare, so the people will remain in front of the digital screen. They will not go away. And finally, they will ask for money. They will whatever, it can be anything, mostly it is money. So they will ask, if you pay 10,000, then we will strike it off this case. So your ID will be deleted and you will not be entered into FIR and all those things. So they will ask 10,000, and only once the people pay that amount, they will they will allow them to move out of the screen. So this is all the process of the digital arrest. So that's why the Skype IDs are being used by the miscreants by showing by showing themselves as the officials, right? And then they are being using this innocent people to lure the money, right? So this is the process. Fine. So we have seen what actually is a digital arrest and what is the process in following in the digital arrest. Is this clear, or should I explain more? Should I explain one more, or do you understood what actually is a digital arrest? Please do respond so that I can move ahead. Still we have the article, still we have the content to discuss in the article, right? Now, what is the government's response? So as we have seen, this is the digital arrest. We have an organization under Ministry of Home Affairs, Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. So this was an institution established under Ministry of Home Affairs, and this is the one which is responsible to contain the cyber crimes in India. So this may be also asked in the exam. I for C is the shortcut. I for C is the shortcut which has power to coordinate in containing the cyber crimes in India. So what the government has taken, they have given certain guidelines for the people, and around 1,000 Skype IDs are being removed with the help of Microsoft, right? So this I4C center is also giving guidelines for the states and all those things. And if you face such situation, call it for 1930. This is the number where you can register the cyber fraud. So this is not just about learning for our exam, but for yourself also, this is a very important article, right? So that is about the digital arrest. Yes, Oendela, sure, I'll explain one more time. So let's see the process. I'll explain, you will understand. First, there is a person, right? And we have number of IDs like Aadhaar card or whatever cards you have, right? And your information also will be there. Your information is also will be there, and that is illegally collected. So a person who seems to be the officials, like they wear police dress, and they, in the background also they will keep police station and all, and they will call this person and says information of this person, right? Because once they said about the personal information, then these people starts believing it, right? If I call you and say your details that this you are so and so you will feel okay, my information is there with the police officials. So they start believing, and then they will ask this individual to come into the digital screen. They will send the link and ask this person to join the Skype ID meeting, so that they want to discuss. And as this person is already scared that information is with these individuals, so he or she will come in front of this screen through Skype ID or whatever the source. Now these people already dressed in police and background with the police station, so this person already scared. Now she or he will completely believe because the dresses and all after seeing. Now they will ask this person to come on screen and ask to stay in the video call unless they give the permission. So they will tell all these personal details, and they will make this person more scared that you are going to be arrested in the next few days because of the IDs, the information that you are using, and you are trading some illegal things, and also we are going to arrest. So even though this person has not done anything, but still he will believe that someone have misused, so he may get into the jail. So that's why this person will stay in the screen, and it is called as a digital arrest. That means this person is not able to move anywhere. If this person moves away, this individual will come, this says that they will come to home and they will arrest. So that's why this person stays here. And after a few hours, they will ask, okay, you give 10,000, so we will clear all your case, and we will strike it off. And once this person pay the 10,000 rupees, then only they will leave the person from the digital screen. So that's how they can earn illegal money, right? Is this clear now, Oindila? I hope this is clear now. Very example with example we have explained, right? Yeah, let's move to the next article, that is great. So next article is World Hydrogen Summit 2024. World Hydrogen Summit 2024. The context is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Our Indian Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has participated in the World Hydrogen Summit 2024. World Hydrogen Summit 2024, where it has happened Rotterdam in Netherlands. Rotterdam in Netherlands. This may be also asked in the exams, right? So it has happened. Now, what is this summit about? This summit is about it has happened in Netherlands, that is Rotterdam. It was organized by Sustainable Energy Council with the coordination of Netherlands government. Sustainable Energy Council, it is a private NGO which works for the clean energy, right? They together have worked. And what is the purpose? They want to promote the utility of green hydrogen. Now we are using lot of other fuels like petrol, diesel, coal-based fossil fuels, and all we are using. So they want to encourage the use of green hydrogen. So green hydrogen does not have any emissions. We will see that process also. Its objective is to promote green hydrogen, right? So that is the objective of this session. Now let's know what actually is a green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is not green color. It is a colorless gas. It is a smellless, right? It is not green color, but it is a process is green. So it is produced from electrolysis process where H2O, right? So we want to get hydrogen out of it. So what we will do, we will make it into the electrolysis process, right? And hydrogen is collected separately and O2 is emitted into the atmosphere. So O2 is a good thing. Usually in case of other fuels, CO2 releases into the atmosphere. But here if you are making water and then making hydrogen, if you want to make hydrogen fuel, so here O2 is being emitted. So the process is a very green, right? So it is not impacting the climate. So that's why it is called as a green hydrogen. So you can see here green hydrogen, yeah, here it is. Here it is, right? So the hydrogen consists of the capacity to act as a fuel. So it has a high fuel energy. So we need to extract hydrogen, which can be used as a fuel for vehicles. So here we are sending the water H2O into the electrolysis process. So H2 is collected, right? H2 is collected, which we want, and oxygen is released into the atmosphere. So we got the hydrogen as a fuel, and oxygen was released into the atmosphere. We need oxygen to breathe, which is a clean. So there is no CO2 at all in this. CO2 is completely absent. That's why it is called as a green hydrogen. And if you see other types of normal processes, gray hydrogen. So what will happen? We are using the natural gas like petroleum, diesel and all. Hydrogen is being used, right? So hydrogen can be developed in this industry process. We are using the petrol as an input. So we are extracting hydrogen, but it is emitting CO2. That's why it is called as a gray hydrogen, because CO2 is being emitted. And there is a blue hydrogen also. In this process, what we are doing, we are using natural gas as an input in the industries to collect hydrogen, but the emitted CO2 is collected and stored underground, under the earth, which will become coal in the future. So the emission is less, but yes, CO2 is being released, but that is dipped into the ground. So at least half we are able to contain, right? So it is not completely CO2 in the atmosphere, but it is going inside the earth. So this is called as blue hydrogen, and green hydrogen we have discussed, right? So that is about the green hydrogen. So this green hydrogen want to be promoted by India and other countries also in the future, so that there is no CO2 emitted into the atmosphere, right? And also we have launched National Green Hydrogen Program. Government has launched National Green Hydrogen Program. These facts are very, very important. It was Nodal Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, right? And the objective is to decarbonize, reduce fuel like petrol, diesel and all those things they want to remove. Decarbonize, develop indigenous manufacturing capacity, create export opportunities for green hydrogen. So these are the objectives of this program, right? So that is about the green hydrogen program, right? Any doubts in this? Any doubts? Yes, Ranjan, electrolysis process is very expensive. It takes crores, right? So now we were able to extract only around 30 kgs, I guess, from 1 crore something. Now we want to make it to the cheaper ones. We want to extract 400 kgs from what you call per crore something is there. So we want to make it cheaper. That is the government aim, right? So that's why we have launched the National Green Hydrogen Program. Any doubt in this? Great. Next article about eco-sensitive zones. About eco-sensitive zones. Supreme Court has halted all mining activities in Sarsika Tiger Reserve around the eco-sensitive region of this particular tiger reserve. So it has halted the mining activities, right? That is the context. Now, what are these eco-sensitive zones? For example, let me explain in an example way, then we will know the definition. So this is the boundary of the tiger reserve, right? This is the boundary of tiger reserve, and around it to certain distance. So this is 10 kilometers, this is 10 kilometers, this is 10 kilometers, this is 10 kilometers. So up to certain distance, no commercial or environmental affected activities are not allowed, right? Because this may affect this particular tiger reserve. So this zone which acts as a transition zone to the main area is called as a eco-sensitive zones. Eco-sensitive zones. So they are buffer zones. They are like a buffer zones for all the protected areas. Protected areas can be wildlife sanctuaries, national park, tiger reserves, community forest. So it can be anything. So they are acting as a buffer zones. So these are the zones which are surrounding the main protected area, which can be Tiger Reserve, National Park, Wildlife Sanctuary, and acts as a buffer zones for the main core area, right? And in Ministry of Environment declared that at least 10 kilometers length, at least 10 kilometers of this from ranging from any boundary of this core area, all this will be considered as a eco-sensitive zone. So 10 kilometers was the present condition, and this was being implemented under the Environmental Protection Act. This is being implemented under Environmental Protection Act 1986. And for the first time, this guideline was issued by Ministry of Environment through National Wildlife Action Plan 2002-2016. It is implemented under Environmental Protection Act, but for the first time it was issued under National Wildlife Action Plan of 2016 by Ministry of Environment, right? And what is this necessity? As I said, they can act as a shock observers. If something happens, then all the tigers, all these may be affected. So they can act as a the shock observers before they will take, rather than impacting the core area, right? And also they act as a transition zones, right? They act as a transition zones. And these zones not meant to hamper the daily life. There may be tribal people, there may be local people there who are residing. So they are not going to affect them. It is just that the extra commercial activities are not allowed, right? So what activities are prohibited? The prohibited activities are like commercial mining, the sawmills, right? Commercial use of wood, all these things are prohibited. And what is allowed? Agriculture, horticulture practices, rainwater harvesting, organic farming, all these activities are allowed, right? As of now, we have around 600 ecologically sensitive zones across India. So all these facts are very, very important. Now, I hope this is clear, the eco-sensitive zone. Now, what is the Sarsika Tiger Reserve? The facts about Sarsika Tiger Reserve is also important, because this is where the Supreme Court has prohibited the mining. It is located in Alwar district of Rajasthan. A very important fact. This is located in Rajasthan and in Alwar district. And one speciality of this Sarsika Tiger Reserve is, this is the world's first in the world to successfully relocate the tigers. Earlier, Sarsika Tiger Reserve, where the region is there, the Rajas of the Rajputs of Rajasthan, they have done the hunting and all. So no tiger was remained in 1960s. So after launching this program, relocation from one place to other place, these tigers were collected from some region, and these tigers put in this Sarsika Tiger Reserve. From various regions, they have collected some tigers and they have put it here, and they have relocated, and it was successful. Now Sarsika Tiger Reserve is one of the largest tiger reserves in India. So this is the first tiger reserve where relocation was successful. Very, very important. And it contains more other as well: chintal, sambar, nilgai, antelope. So apart from tigers, they have a number of animals as well. Any doubts? Fine. Now we have very short articles. Within 1-2 minutes we can complete all these articles. Till 7 articles we have a big, the bigger ones. So as I said, some days it will be more, some days it will be less, right? So I cannot exclude. I can make only 10 articles per day, but you will be affected. So be patient when we are dealing with more articles, because in the end you will be benefiting, right? So Kanwar Lake. Recently the condition of Kanwar Lake in Bihar has been worsening. It is being deteriorated, right? The quality of this lake is being deteriorated. That's why it is there in news. Now, Kanwar Lake is Asia's largest freshwater oxbow lake. So now you may get doubt, sir, what is oxbow lake? It is normal lake or anything? So you can see here the diagram. Please understand this. Usually the path of river is like this. Usually the path of river is like this. But after flowing for years continuously, there was a flooding in this particular region. So what will happen? The river which is coming from and going till this side and coming back, now they will directly flood from this region. So river got straight now, and this path was left over. So this was left over and this became the lake, right? So this water and all has already settled here since many years. Now it became a lake. So those are called as oxbow lake. So please observe this once. the diagram, you will understand what is Oxbow Lake. So this round one became a separate lake now, because now river is not passing through it. Right, so that is about the Oxbow Lake. Now this Kanwar Lake is Asia's largest freshwater oxbow lake. A very important fact that they may ask you in the exam. Asia's largest freshwater oxbow lake. Is this clear? Oxbow Lake? I hope this is clear. From this diagram itself, it is self-explanatory. And this is Bihar's only Ramsar site. I am not discussing Ramsar sites. So Ramsar sites we have already discussed in many sessions, and maybe yes, in future we will discuss. But this is the only Ramsar site from Bihar. This is also known as Kabartal Jheel. Kabartal Jheel, another name. So this is also the same one, Kanwar or Kabartal Jheel, right? So it is residual oxbow lake. So by which river it was formed, that is also important. There was a Gandak river, which is a tributary of Ganges. So that was earlier forming, but some hundreds of years before, the Gandak river flooded and it went in this course. So now Kanwar Lake has formed. So because of Gandak river change in the course, they have formed, right? And this Kanwar Lake is host of many birds which are shifting from Siberia and all. See, this is the earth, right? So in the winter seasons, where the extreme temperatures minus 50 degrees and all, the birds will not be able to sustain here. In summers they will stay, but after, like during winters, they will migrate to Africa. And from India itself they will go. We have a Central Asian flyway where birds passes through, right? So we have this particular region is also important for bird nesting, right? So in this region there are 5 critically endangered species inhabiting. So in the IUCN we have critically endangered status, the highest, one of the highest protection status. So there are 5 important species. 3 vultures are there, red-headed vulture, and then white rumped vulture and Indian vulture. So these 3 vultures are present in this Kanwar Lake. So they will ask you also in the exam, right? And also we have 2 water birds, social lapwing and bear's pochard. This is social lapwing bird and bear's pochard. So these are also critically endangered birds. So these are located in the Kanwar Lake, right? So I hope that is clear. Now moving to the next article, Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, in space. So this is an organization and it got leadership award for public policy. This was given by Geospatial World Forum, a private NGO forum of different entities. They have given the best leadership award. So this is not very important. Yes, maybe they will ask which entity, which Indian organization has recently received the best policy award by the Geospatial World Forum. So it was in space, right? Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Now what is this in space? It was established in 2020 by Indian government. It is a what you call independent organization, independent agency. It is not kept under any control like ISRO. It is an independent. It can take its own decisions. But it was kept under Department of Space with headquarters at Ahmedabad, right? And it was launched in 2020. And what is the objective? That is the most important for us. You know the facts, headquarters, under which department and what authority is an independent authority, and when it was launched, it is 2020. So these are facts which I was talking about, the revision of current affairs. And issue, the concept is what is the role? What is the role of in space? That is the concept. So the role is to coordinate with the private agencies to support, to enter them into the space. If you see America, we have Blue Origin of Amazon, which is a private space agency. We have SpaceX of Elon Musk. So they are supporting the governments because the governments does not have proper funding and expertise. So to encourage the private entities to enter into the space sector, this in space was exclusively launched by the government of India, right? So that is the objective of this organization, to coordinate between private and then ISRO to promote the private agencies to enter into the space sector, right? So that is about the in space. I hope that is clear. Now moving to the next article, that is Indian Ocean Rim Association. Indian Ocean Rim Association. The context is the Indian Ocean, it is an organization. I will show you what are all the things and all, but just understand the context that Indian Ocean Rim Association is going to be face the other countries like USA and Russia being entering into the Indian region, even though they don't have borders. That is the context of the article. Now, what is this Indian Ocean Rim Association? It is an intergovernmental organization. So you can see this is the Indian Ocean region. This is the Indian Ocean region. So all the Indian Ocean region countries, right? All the Indian Ocean region countries has become part of it. Right? So this organization together formed Indian Ocean Rim Association. This is a intergovernmental. So all the countries come together, right? It was launched in 1997 with the headquarters at Eben, Mauritius. So Mauritius is a country in the Indian Ocean and Eben is a city. So this is the headquarters, are very, very important. And why they have launched? To collaborate each other in terms of trade, investment, economy. So all the things together they want to coordinate among themselves because trade mainly happens through the oceans, right? So this is the objective, to promote cooperation and regional integration of the countries, right? So that is the objective, and facts of course you need to remember. Now observe these countries. Some countries are not part. So observe here, I will make a question. I mean at the end we will see the question. This is today's challenge for you. I am not teaching anything, just observe here what are all the countries because it takes a lot of time. But yes, some important surrounding countries are not part of this Rim Association. So we will see the question at the end. Let's see who will answer. Right? So these are all the countries which are part. So take 30 seconds time, 20-30 seconds, observe. We will move ahead and then we'll solve the question. Right? Yeah. Next, last article for today, Mercury. Mercury, an element, right? So, United Nations Environmental Program has launched the Phasing Out Mercury program in the healthcare project. So, just understand the context. So, some project was launched to eliminate mercury in the medical equipment. So, this you can see. Now, we will understand more about the project and all. Before that, let's see about the features of mercury. It is a naturally occurring element. So it is not a man-made artificially. It is naturally occurring from air, water, soil and all. It can occur, right? And this is the only metal which can show the liquid, which can become liquid in the room temperature. So room temperature is approximately 27 degrees, right? So at the room temperature, this metal can become the liquid, and this is the only metal which can show the liquid state in the room temperature. That is one important. And this is a persistent toxic pollutant. This is harmful to the humans. It is mainly produced from gold mining and then extraction of use of power plants, volcanoes. So these are the main sources where mercury is emitted. And there is a disease called Minamata disease. Minamata is a region in Japan, and this was observed first in the Japan region. So some people there has consumed mercury, I mean unknowingly, not like food. So unknowingly mercury entered into the body and it causes certain neurological disorders. So that was called as Minamata disease, right? Now, before knowing the agreement or the new project, let's understand mercury in the medical devices. If you see thermometer or sphygmomanometer, right? Sphygmomanometer. So this is the one which calculates the BP, blood pressure as well. So if you see medical equipments, mercury is used widely, right? But it is not harmful until unless this mercury stays in the medical equipment. It is not harmful. But if it becomes a medical waste and the devices gets broken, the mercury enter into the environment, air, water and all, and then it is directly enter into the humans. Then it will become a issue. Until unless they are in the medical equipment, it is not an issue, right? So it can create Minamata disease, nervous system, lungs. It can enter into the waste also. Then it enter into the water. So this is a harmful one, right? So that's why mercury is widely used in the medical equipment. That's why United Nations Environmental Program has launched the title called Phasing Out Mercury measuring devices in healthcare project. This name itself is a project name. Project name, right? So this total worth of this initiative is $134 million. $134 million is the cost. And what they are going to do? They are going to support certain countries where they can eliminate mercury based medical equipment. They can shift to the alternate equipment. There are many alternate equipment. So if you are a doctor, you might be aware about it, right? So which countries have signed? You can see India has agreed to sign. So India is ready that we are shifting from mercury based equipment to something else. So along with India, Albania, Burkina Faso, Montenegro and Uganda. So these are all countries agreed with the United Nations that yes, we will start implementing this. And this is a 5-year program. So within 5 years, we are going to eliminate a shift towards the other medical equipment, right? And funded by Global Environmental Facility. Global Environmental Facility is a separate project, initially launched under World Bank. Now it is a separate organization. This organization will fund this project, this 134 million, right? So the aim is, I have said, to shift towards other alternative programs, alternative medical equipments which are not based on the mercury, right? So these are the articles. Now we have a factual pointers. We have some factual pointers before solving the questions. First fact, WHO has pre-qualified a new dengue vaccine. So we have some 10 days back, we have seen one vaccine, dengue vaccine, CYD TDV vaccine. We have discussed about it. If you have forgot, CYD TDV was the first vaccine which was pre-approved by WHO for dengue disease. So dengue vaccine. Now a new vaccine, TAC 003 was the other vaccine for dengue. So they may give you these two names and ask which disease vaccine is this. So this is a dengue vaccine and it is developed by Japanese pharma company called Takeda. Takeda is the company which it has developed, right? So this can be administered for the children between 6 to 16 years. So these are the facts. Next one, Indian Air Force has tested Bhishma portable cubes. So Bhishma means Bharat Health Initiative for Sahyog, Hita and Maitri. You might be aware that Indian military in the high altitudes and then in the hilly regions, we don't have proper hospitals. So we need to do certain things. That's why Bhishma project was launched by ministry to make temporary hospital like things. It's like a cube. It can instantly, like 72 cubes can be instantly created. If there is an injury to any army persons, it can immediately cure. It is a temporary hospital like thing, right? So this was deployed by Indian Army and it consists of 72 small cubes where they can track also. They are RFID tags are attached and even if these are moving, so they will know where it is located. So these are like a temporary hospitals, right? Bhishma project, remember this. There is a high chance of asking this in the exam. Next one, global report on internal displacement. Internal displacement means within country, right? Within country, within states, right? So this report was released by a private organization, Internal Displacement Monitoring Center, right? So according to it, around 75.9 million people have moved internally from one place to other place in the country, right? Fine. Next and the last fact, Tamil Nadu is using soil nailing technique to stabilize the slope. So you can see here, this is called as soil nailing. So the civil engineers who are here might be aware about it. So soil nailing means putting the net, the steel net and all, using the nails so that the material will not be come out of it and it has a strength. This steel frame has a strength to resist the soil movement, right? In the Nilgiris, they are using it the Nilgiri mountains. Any doubts in this? So we are done with the session. Now let's solve some MCQs from the articles that we have discussed. First question. Let's see who will solve this question. With reference to right to property in India, which one of the following statements is correct? Right to property. First statement, the concept of right to property was not part of the original constitution and was added later. So they are saying right to property was not originally part and it was later added. They are asking correct statements. The constitution explicitly mentions that property could be taken away by the government for public welfare. So constitution said that property can be taken away for the public welfare. So this is the second statement. In 1973, Supreme Court pronounced that right to property is part of the basic structure of the constitution. You all know case 1 and the Bharati case? Case 1 and the Bharati case, 1973. So they are saying that in that case, Supreme Court has announced right to property is a basic structure. The 44th Constitutional Amendment Act removed the right to property from the Constitution. Right to property, 44th Constitutional Amendment Act has removed the right to property from the Constitution, they are saying. So now answer it. A little bit tricky question. Let's see who will win and who will lose against me. I want answer. Even if it is wrong, don't worry. It is a battle between me and all of you. Right? One day I will win, one day you will win. But yeah, keep answering it. So what is the answer? No one is saying. Take some 30 seconds time and answer it. Okay. First statement, the concept of right to property was not part of original constitution. Do you agree? It was there. It was removed later. They have given the statement reverse. Initially it was not. Initially it was part, but later it was removed. Right? So the first statement is a wrong statement. See, even if you don't answer any answer, that means I already won. If you answer wrong or if you kept quiet also, I have won this battle, right? So nobody has answered till now. Second statement, the constitution explicitly mentions the right to property could be taken away the government for public welfare. This may be little bit dilemma. So it is always better to eliminate statements rather than choosing answer, right? So let's see. Basic structure doctrine, right to property was part of basic structure doctrine. No, if it was a basic structure, how can parliament can make any change? So no such was pronounced by the Supreme Court, right? So this is also wrong. 44th Constitutional Amendment Act removed right to property from Constitution. Wrong. 300A is still part of right to property. It did not remove from Constitution, rather it removed from fundamental rights. So this is also wrong. So this is correct. Answer is B. As part of Article 31A, I have discussed this also. First Amendment Act added to the Constitution that right to property can be taken away to implement the public welfare. I have discussed this article, but you have forgot, right? So answer is B. Only Keshav has won this battle against me, right? Most of you have not answered or you have answered wrong. Second question. No, Srinath, I won't allow you to answer it as correct if you answer it after I marked it as correct, right? So next question, this is also application based. Let's see who will answer this. This we discussed the concept, but I am giving the question in an application based. So let's see who will answer this. If you are posted as a chief wildlife warden, so chief wildlife warden was a IFOS officer, Indian Forest Service, All India Service Officer, and if you are that officer and posted in one of the eco-sensitive regions in the India, right? Which of the following activities will you permit according to the existing rules? So we have discussed eco-sensitive zones, what activities are allowed, what activities are not allowed. So if you are a chief wildlife warden, so what activities will you allow? Will you allow? Wood for furniture. First one, wood for furniture, setting up sawmill, setting up brick kilns, and then grazing of animals domesticated by local people. So which activities will you allow? Try to answer. Someone have answered it as D. Any more? So is this third question? This is the second question only, right? Okay. So wood for furniture is a commercial activity, right? So this is not allowed. Setting up sawmill, again commercial activity, not allowed. Setting up of brick kilns is also commercial activity, not allowed. Grazing of domesticated animals by the local people, this is a livelihood, activity. So yes, this is allowed. So you have won this battle. Dalari Kaur, Oindila, Ranjan, Malini, Srinath have answered it as correct. Very good. Next question, factual question. Kanwar Lake, Asia's largest freshwater oxbow lake, which is located in the Bihar, is formed due to the meandering of. Formed due to the meandering of Ganga river, Gaggar river, Gandaki river, Gomti river. So what is the answer? Third question. This is the third question. We have seen this directly, right? Ganga can be eliminated because we have seen it is one of the tributaries. It is not Ganga but the tributary of Ganga. Yes, Gandaki is the answer, right? Indira and Ranjan has answered it as correct. Very good. Right, Keshav? Right. Next question. With reference to Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center in space, which of the following statements are correct? So which statements are correct they are asking. First one, it is an independent body under Department of Space. That is the first statement. Yes, Srinath, you are correct for third question. Let's see for fourth question now. Second statement, one of its function is to assist DRDO in developing space weapons. So that is the second statement. It supports and encourages the private players to participate in India's space program. This is the fourth question. Tell me. Tell me the answer for this fourth question. First statement, yes, it is an independent organization and Department of Space. So first should be there. This is not eliminated. So first statement should compulsory be there. Third statement, it is also very direct statement. Encourage private participation in India's space. So 3 should be there. So in both the statements are there. Second, to assist DRDO in developing the space weapon. No, there is no such space weapons. It is related to the defense. This is just to take care of the private entities, right? So answer is A. Right. So Daralokor, Srinath have answered it as correct, and then Ranjan has answered it as correct. Oindila also answered it as correct. So 1 and 3 is the answer. Last question for today. This is what the challenge I gave to observe the diagram. Let's see who are all has observed well, right? Which of the following Indian Ocean region countries is not part of Indian Ocean Rim Association? Yes, Swarupa, 4 is A. You are correct. Last question. I have shown you the diagram, the mapping. Now answer this. Sri Lanka, Maldives, Pakistan, and both Maldives and Pakistan they have given in the option D. I want answers. First one, Sri Lanka is part of this agreement. So it is a friendly country, and of course Indian Rim Association is managed by India and it has joined. Alright, so first one is correct. They are asking not part. Maldives, yes, Maldives is not part. Mauritius is part, but Maldives is not part. Pakistan is also not part. Pakistan is enemy country to us, and still this is also not part. Mauritius is part but not Maldives. So answer is D. So Swarupa, Oindila answered it as C, and then Srinath, Keshav also answered it as C. So most of you were defeated in this challenge, right? Nobody have answered it as D. So answer is D, right? So both these two countries were not part of the Indian Ocean Rim Association. Fine. So that is of today's session. We have a very good number of articles and we have a number of articles also. Try to revise them, try to prepare well. So on regular basis, you will be able to recollect, right? So have a great evening. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on Monday. Tomorrow there is no session and Sunday also. On Monday, we will take both the sessions, right? Both the current affairs. Thank you. Have a great evening.